Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call this meeting of the Commissioners to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. We just had and just a few days ago, we lost Mr. Bill Carroll. He was a pastor for our police department, one of the pastors for our county's police force and some of the fire companies. He was a minister and he was also a former surveyor. And we'll keep him and his family in our prayers. Thank you very much. Meeting announcements. It's a legislative day. Time is allotted at the end of each meeting for the commissioners to receive comments from the public. First of all, we have a public notice. I'm going to read this fair summary of what took place. A new IPTV cable franchise agreement between, between Kent County and Talkie Communications Incorporated, and a resolution by the County Commissioners of Kent County authorizing the execution of a cable franchise agreement between the county and Talkie Communications Incorporated. A fair summary is now given that according to the Code of Public Local Laws of Kent County, Maryland, Chapter 76, Cable Television Franchising, a new franchise agreement was considered. The public hearing was duly advertised and held on July 23rd, 2024. The public process under which comments from the public and/or applicants seeking a cable franchise agreement were received. Written comments were accepted until Friday, July the 26th, 2024. The board voted to authorize the execution of the IPTV cable franchise agreement between Kent County and Talkie Communications Incorporated by Resolution 2024-10 on Tuesday, July the 30th, 2024. The agreement, resolution, and all related documents are on file at the Commissioner's Office, 400 High Street, Chestertown, Maryland, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on the county's website at www.kentcounty.com, or available by calling the office of the county administrator at 410-778-4600 and press 4. And this is by order of the County Commissioners of Kent County, Maryland, Sandra M. Blackston, Clerk. It was been published in the Kent County News on 8/8/24, 8/15/24, and 8/22/24. We have some consent items. We have our regular session minutes dated July the 30th, 2024. We have our liquor minutes dated July 30th, 2024. Public hearing minutes dated July 30th, 2024. We have an application for Kent County 4-H Triple Shots Shooting Sports, raffle only, dated August the 6th through September 21st of 2024. We have the Democratic Club of Kent County, a raffle only, August the 15th, 2024 through October the 3rd, 2024. We have a Historical Society of Kent County raffle only on December the 7th, 2024. We have Bill Mackey, Director of Planning, Housing, and Zoning, with 2025 Nuisance Flood Plan Grant. Then next on our agenda, we have a special Class C license. Application's been made by St. John and Sacred Heart Church for beer only on August the 18th, 2024. Being as this is an alcoholic application, it it needs to stand for a public hearing. We'll consider tonight that public hearing. Anyone in the audience that would like to speak for or against this application, feel free to do so at this time. There being none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, first I'd like to make a motion that we approve all 7 of the consent items that you presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it.
Secondly, I'd like to make a motion to approve the special Class C per diem liquor license application for St. John and Sacred Heart Church.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Next up, Mr. Human Resource Director, Mr. Jim Miller.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I have 2 policies for your consideration this evening. You've received all the information, the details for both. The first one on the agenda is sort of a continuation of one that was finalized last year on the retiree health programs. After some research that was requested, we've tweaked it a bit. Didn't do anything that affected the current retirees. This simply was a couple of modifications that we were asked to look at for impact on existing staff, notably ones who've already reached the thresholds for the retirement years of service but are continuing to work for the county. Any questions I can cover here?
I've actually taken a look at both of the options that are before us here tonight, and after talking about it at one of our previous meetings, it appears that you were able to go back with your staff and some input from other folks and make it right as far as I'm concerned, as far as addressing the years of service that some employees have already accomplished, and also giving employees a little more time to evaluate what in fact they would want to do before they retire or continue to work.
Exactly.
So with that being said, I'd like to make a motion, if there's no other questions.
No, I agree with
I'd like to make a motion to approve the revised employee medical prescription dental and vision insurance and retiree medical prescription dental and vision insurance, and approve option B along with the resolution 2024-09.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And, once this, just for a little more comment, once this is actually published and the employees see it for the first time, really, if there's another issue or a problem, and I don't think there will be, but if there is, I know the 3 of us would like to know about it.
Absolutely.
So if you would bring those comments or concerns forward, that would be appreciated.
Yep, certainly will. Thank you
I
very
think we
much.
got it right this time. It's been a long time.
Well, I made the mistake of saying that once, but no, I think we've covered all the bases now. I think we've got this thing nailed down. The second item for your consideration is the travel expense policy. And what we've done in this case is modified the existing policy to address a number of factors, timekeeping, use of county vehicle, and how the expenses will be allocated and then approved. Fortunately, I have our CFO here tonight who spent a lot of time helping us kind of wind our way through this one. I think notably that we've come up with a very clear structure on what expenses are reimbursable and how those numbers are arrived at. Pat's already developed a modified expense reimbursement form that I think will make life simpler for folks as they're coming back, and the timing of it happens to be perfect. because we do have folks getting ready to go to the annual MACO conference, and the timing of this works out really well, and just as it happens. Is there any questions on this policy that I can
I don't
hit?
have any. Either
No,
one.
sir.
I just have one after looking at it. Number 8, under disciplinary, there's a exemption there that basically says that that this policy doesn't necessarily apply to the county administrator or any elected officials. Personally, I believe that the policy should apply to everybody, regardless whether you're one of the leadership, in one of the leadership positions or an elected position. So therefore, I would like to have that taken out of that, so that everyone is treated exactly the same. Do I need to explain any more about that? Do you all see what I'm talking about?
I'm fine with that.
I think it's important that everyone be treated the same, and I don't think it was put in there for any particular reason other than it was language that was probably there before.
It was.
And-
Yeah, we carried that language over
And it probably
from
needs to be-
some years
Be
past.
cleaned up. I mean,
Yep.
in this day and time, everyone needs to be treated exactly the same, regardless of who you are. So if there's no questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve the revised compensation, travel, and travel-related expenses policy, and further approve the resolution of 2024-11, and also revise or delete the exemption part regarding the policy not applying to the county administrator or elected officials.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Appreciate all the help.
Thank you.
We'll get these, we'll get that one modification changed, get the information out to everybody.
It doesn't stop you from publishing it
No,
and moving forward.
We'll
because we
delete that
just-
one sentence,
Yeah,
and
we just-
and we're good to go with that, and we'll make sure that we'll get the online policy updated for both of these items, and make sure the information is disseminated to all the staff so that they have it. And we'll keep rolling.
Very
Good.
good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you. Lisa? Lisa is our, Mazingo is our director of Kent Family Center. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, how are you?
Good.
Good evening. I am here this evening to request your signature on the renewal of our contract with Maryland Family Network to operate a family support center. You'll notice that the contract might have looked a little different this year as Maryland Family Network combined. They're the intermediary for the community-based child abuse prevention funds and Maryland State Department of Education funds. Usually there's two documents. It's been put together into one document this year. So I'll just be here the one time for this. This funding, along with the county's generous funding, allows us to provide family support services for families who are expecting babies and have children up to 5. And that includes health education, mental health support, service coordination and case management, school readiness activities, and we work a lot with community partners, the school system and social services and things like that. So just requesting your signature.
Well, you certainly do a good job for our citizens here in the county.
Well, thank you.
I would like to make a motion to approve both agreements as presented.
I second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Lisa.
Pat Merritt.
Okay, I just have one item to report out on tonight. Thanks. The Maryland Governor's Office of Crime Control and Prevention awarded Kent County for 2025 the Sex Offender Compliance and Enforcement Maryland Grant in the amount of $2,538. The grant award needed to be signed last week, so it was signed. So just reporting out that we have received that award.
And it was all signed and, yeah.
Signed and we've,
I remember.
this is a grant that we apply for annually and we've received for as long as I can remember, so.
I got you. Okay. And I got a email today that I think, I don't, whether I'm stealing Jamie's thunder, but she's not here tonight, but she called me today to tell me that they had applied for a grant to investigate that roof on the school, on that school up to Millington, where where the development's going, and they've, I think I understood her to say that they've received a $100,000 grant
Oh, wow.
to look into what that roof needs to have done. That sounds like a lot of money for,
I'd like to be the consultant.
yeah, about it. But maybe she'll shed some more light on it. I may be downplaying it a little bit, but there's a,
For the resource center that Millington's wanting.
yes,
For the-
yeah,
yes.
for that senior housing development, really.
Good deal.
That'd be great.
I think I've already talked about it to my colleagues, but we had this issue about this iron issue out to the transfer station. And we were days away from entering into a $4.5 million project to try to deal with it, and we took a second look at it, and we met with MDE about it. Has nothing to do with human health or anything. It's just we're discharging some water, and the amount of iron in it is too high. So we asked them if we were taking the samples, if this makes sense, at the treatment plant where the filters are. And we asked them if we could take it at the outfall on the pond, because that's when it actually goes into the environment. And they said yes. So the iron starts out at about 50 parts per million. The filters that are in place today are carbon filters that are not designed to take out iron to start with. And actually, they have an adverse effect on those filters, and you have to replace the element every year because that so much iron. But that process gets it down from 50 parts per million down to 10, and MDE was telling us that we had to get it down to 3 or less. Well, we asked them about doing the test at the outfall, and they agreed, because it's then that it goes into the environment. We did the test, and the test results come back 0.1%. So obviously, we're in compliance, but in saying that, we think, and I've been out there and looked at the place and talked to the operators, and I talked to a gentleman who specializes in filters and stuff. Although we're in compliance this time, well within compliance, I think we'll have more discussions about it, but we would like to pursue the idea of putting a couple sand filters in that are designed to take iron out. And one of the carbon filters is springing a leak here and there, maybe replace that. But by putting those sand filters in place that actually deal with iron, it won't be messing up the carbon filters, and the element we won't have to replace for 10 or 12 years instead of yearly. So it's a benefit to do it. And I think it would be a good, at least looking into doing that project, and it'll be much, much, much cheaper than $4.5 million. I mean, I don't think this is an expensive project, but I think after looking at it, it would make a real benefit out there. So I think our Public Works Director is going to look into it. I've put him in touch with a guy that specializes in this, and we'll see where it goes. But it sounds like we can avoid that treatment facility for a $4.5 million price tag. Let me see what else I had before we come. Yeah, how about that? Oh, and well, that's not even worth talking about. There's a little ramp that you have to go down to walk on to take this sample from this effluent, and it was kind of rickety, and it's just a couple, 2 by 10s or something, and some decking like a catwalk or something, and I told them, go ahead and fix it, because Kim, that does the operator, she has to go out on that thing to take that sample, and it's a little rickety, so if you hear, and then there's a tree on Annie Crow Road that the property owner says it's on the county says it's on the property, or said it was a close call. One of the surveyors went and marked it, and it's in the county. I told him, look, we gets that close to where it's us against our constituents. It's a gray area. We just go ahead and take the damn thing down. So that's it. Nobody has a problem with that. But we'll hear more about that iron stuff and we haven't agreed to do anything yet, but we want to look at it, see what it would cost, and I think it would be beneficial, and the crew that works back there thinks it would be too, and the guy that I put them in touch with thinks it's a good plan. So we'll hear more about it. We'll see what it costs, but it's not going to be anything close to that other.
Well, that's exciting, and anything we can do to help our overworked, understaffed wastewater.
Well, and plus, the carbon filters that are there are built to take out those VOCs. It's not built for iron, so if we put a couple filters there that are specifically to deal with iron, it's even going to make a good situation better.
Right.
Anyhow, all right, I guess is this it? That's the end of our meeting.
But just on the agenda, there's a letter that, or a contract that I think's already been approved back in July. But I would just like to mention that KRM Development Corporation is a very legitimate, very honest, very good group to work with when it comes to county leasing. And any increase in the contract was certainly justified. It was very minimal to begin with, and really, they're a very, very reputable organization.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I am hopeful that once the new superintendent gets started with the new school year, that we can engage again in the conversation about using the bus depot to maybe house the election office.
Absolutely.
Which will save the county money in the long run.
Yep.
There's a lot of unused space out there,
Absolutely.
but that's a conversation.
And we don't want that building to deteriorate to beyond repair.
Right.
And I also saw we had with the reports that come out today from
Weekly
the
reports.
OES building. That low bidder.
A lot better.
Yeah,
It-
I think they said that's the same one that did out in Wharton.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct, yes.
So when do you think that? I guess it's got to be the bid's got to be awarded, and then they'll
I
start
think-
work.
From what I saw from the email that I saw from Dan, I think that they're gonna bring the bids in on the 27th.
Yep.
Okay.
For us to either approve or disapprove, and it'll basically start the process from there, and I think he's thinking sometime after the first of the year, completion.
That's
If I remember correctly.
That's an exciting project.
That is exciting.
That'd be nice, and then we'll wonder what that property up Lynch, we just see if somebody wants to buy it.
I would imagine.
That would probably happen with that.
The Nickerson family has some property in Lynch.
We have,
Maybe they might be interested in buying it.
You know what, that might be a good
might be.
idea.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right across from the grain mills and stuff, they are farmers and stuff, it would be perfect
I think it would be
location.
perfect.
I guess we'll have
It's just an idea.
we'll have to negotiate. We'll have to negotiate.
Okay, anybody, Bill, you got anything for us? John, you, either one of you? You didn't even have anything on the agenda, Bill, when you come in and spend time with us. You're a dedicated employee, for sure.
I learn stuff every time, so.
Some of it's good, I bet.
Some of it not so good. Okay, then I'll entertain, Pat, you all straight?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.